Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be continuing from level 25, and hopefully we're going to be finishing the Over-the-Wire challenge. So we already have the password for Bandit 25, so let's just go and log in. Hope you guys are enjoying the series. Again, this is a very basic war game. It isn't too complicated. I know the last few challenges can be a bit intimidating, but I hope you guys benefit from it. So we're going to do SSH Bandit 25 at bandit.labs.overthewire.org on port 2220. And we paste in the password. Again, paste clipboard because Linux is fucking stupid. There we go. So now we're in Bandit 25. So let's see what Bandit 25 has in store. I'm already there. Okay, so whatever. So logging into Bandit 26 for Bandit 25 should be fairly easy. The shell for user Bandit 26 is not bin bash. That sucks. But something else. Find out what it is, how it works, and how to break out of it. Okay, fine. Let's press LS and see what's inside of Bandit 25. We have a Bandit 26 SSH key again. So wait, it shouldn't be that easy, should it be? All right, so if we have a key, then we should be able to log in as Bandit 26, right? So let's just try it. So SSH-I, like we did before, bandit26.sh key. Then we're trying to log in as Bandit 26 at localhost because we're already logged in as a machine, right? On port 2220. Yes. And as you can see, we got kicked out. This sucks. We got kicked out of the machine, and that's mainly because the Bandit 26 doesn't have a bin bash shell, right? It doesn't have a bash shell. So every user on Linux has a type of shell, such that if you if you try to log in as a specific user, the shell associated with that user will be given to you when you log in, right? So all the other levels prior, so Bandit 1, Bandit 2, Bandit 3, Bandit 4, all the levels that we were doing, every time we logged in, we were given back a shell that looks something like this, right? So we have like Bandit, the number, and then Bandit, right? We have something like that. But Bandit 20, that the reason that was happening is because all the previous Bandit levels had bash shells for them, but Bandit 26 doesn't have a bash shell. That's why when we try to connect to Bandit 26, we didn't get a shell like we have for the previous Bandit levels. So one thing I would like to show you guys is that if I open the etc shadow file, no, not the etc shadow file, etc passwd file, this basically gives us all the users and other information about this Linux machine. So if you look at Bandit 0, this is Bandit 0 all the way down to all the levels. So we're on Bandit 6. We're trying to get to Bandit 6, right? As you can see, all the previous ones had bin bash as their shell. So that bin bash, bin bash, bin bash, bin bash, bin bash. And the only one that doesn't have a bin bash is the user bin show text. Now, keeping that in mind, we know that it's not really using the it's not using a bin bash shell, right? So Bandit 26 is not using a bin bash shell. It's using a, let me just highlight that again if you guys didn't see from earlier. It's the user bin show text, right? So it's not really what we're looking for. So let's just clear the screen, and it's in, remember the location was user bin show text if I remember correctly. If we try to look at that script, user bin show text, as you can see, again, it's a sh shell. It's a it's a bit different. The last few were bash. This was not a bash one. It says export term equals Linux. Okay, fine. Then it's execute more on the txt on this file over here. So if you remember when we first connected to Bandit 26, let's try to connect again. I'm going to show you guys something. If we try to connect again, notice how it prints this Bandit 26, but it doesn't show the rest like how we did before. Remember when we connected to every other level, it said Bandit and the number of the level we were on, and then it showed all the other stuff under it. This time it only showed the Bandit 26 and then it closed, right? So this could be the text file that it's opening before it closes, because if we look at the bash script here, at first it says it executes more, which is just another program that allows you to read a file in a more efficient manner, and it tried to read this file and then it exited, right? So this line over here shows when it exited, so that means this must be the this part over here. This must be what's inside of the text .txt file. So one thing you guys should know about the more program, which is useful for this challenge, is that the more program doesn't it shows the contents page by page, right? So it'll look at the file contents, and if it's able to separate it into different pages, it's going to be able to do that. But since the only thing inside of the text file is this thing over here, it's able to fit it inside of the page, and therefore it doesn't give us the interactive way that usually displays content, right? So if it was unable to show the whole screen, it would show like the one page, like starting from like the top all the way here, and then it would show something like move down, and there would be other options popping up, right? So but we only have this small section here, so the text file can fit in one page, and therefore we weren't able to do anything. So the trick here is that we want to take advantage of that prior to being kicked out by the exit command, right? So one way we can do it is that right now Bandit 26 fits on one page. What if we made the page really small so that this wouldn't fit the entire page, and then we can do some modifications and stuff like that. So let's just do that right now. I'm going to show you guys what I mean. I'm going to make the page very small here. Again, if you have any questions, you can leave it in the comments. I'm going to make this page really small, super tiny. Very petite. No, not this. Let's get the terminal. Yeah, right. This. We're gonna make the page really small. We're gonna make it like it doesn't exist. That's a tall, small as it. Okay, that's kind of too much. Let's get bigger than that. All right, so we're gonna try to connect again. So we already have the connection. We're gonna press yes, and as you can see, now if I make the page bigger again, we actually have the more command. We didn't exit right away, so we're stuck inside of the more because it thinks that I was unable to fit the Bandit 26 inside of one page because we made the page too small. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna run, because inside of the more command you can run the v command. So I'm gonna press V, and now we're inside of the Vim text editor or the V text editor. I don't know which one it is. It's one of them, that's for sure. And since we're inside of the V text editor, I'm pretty sure that we can change the shell. So there's a way you can actually change the shell. Let's just look it up here. I think there's a way you can do that. There's a way you can actually do that. Yeah, let's change the shell of Vim. Let's try that. Yeah, so I think it was a Vim command or the Vim shell, and oh yeah, so inside Vim you can check your current shell by running set shell. Okay, let's just do that right now. So I'm gonna say set shell with a question mark, So right now it's saying that we're using the show text shell, which we saw Bandit 26 was using the show text shell, not the bash shell. And it says what else? It says we can change it by saying set shell equals to whatever we want, right? So we're gonna say set shell. We're gonna say user bin bash, or I think we could just say bin bash. So I'm gonna say bin bash. And in order to actually execute it, from the from based off of what I've seen before, I think you can just say shell. Boom! We're actually inside. We actually have a bash shell inside of Bandit 26 right now, which is fantastic. Now let's quickly go over to Bandit 26. Bandit 26 to Bandit 27. Good job getting a shell. Now hurry and grab the password for Bandit 27. Okay, so let's just say Ellis first. We have Bandit 27 do. Again, you can look at the file information if you want, but we already know it's a set UID, so I'm not going to waste time doing that. So this is Bandit 27. So let's just run it. Bandit 27 do. And then we need, it says run a command as another user. Okay, it's like ID. So if I say ID, okay. So basically any command I type in here is going to be, let me just say KI. So it runs env, the program, the env program on whatever command I type after Bandit 27. And since this file is owned by Bandit 27, I can just say it's owned by Bandit 27. Again, you can say ls-l to check that if you want. See, as you can see, this file is owned by Bandit 27. And since it's owned by Bandit 27, we can run any command that we want afterwards as Bandit 27. So if I say Bandit 27 do, any program that I type in here, it's going to run as Bandit 27. So I can say cat. We know that Bandit 27's password is going to be in etc bandit pass bandit 27. And there we go. So we got the password. The reason it worked is because, like I said, it's when we run Bandit 27 do, it's running as Bandit 27, and it's running the env command on any program that we type after that, right? So it's running this in a separate environment as Bandit 27. So if we say cat the file, it's gonna be able to do that because we're running as Bandit 27, right? Again, if you have any questions, it takes a while to explain this. You can let me know in the comments. I'll explain this in more detail. But basically, this is a set UID binary called Bandit 27 do. It's running as Bandit 27, and since we know that, we also know from previous testing that it's running the env command on whatever file or whatever content we specify afterwards. So once you said cat this, it's running this in its own separate environment. That's what env does. And since we're running as Bandit 27, we're able to actually read the file and output the content. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So I'm trying to copy this, copy. I'm going to exit now because I have the password for Bandit. Wait a second, what's going on here? Can I quit? Okay, so we exited now. And we're going to connect as Bandit 27. Let's just connect to Bandit 27. And we are Bandit 27. Yeah, so now that we're connected to Bandit 27, that was a pretty confusing level, I have to admit. I had to do some research, but that's a level. So now let's go to Bandit 27 to Bandit 28. It says there's a Git repository at SSH. Okay, now we're dealing with Git, right? So there's a Git repository at SSH, Bandit27 Git at localhost/home, Bandit27 Git repo via the port 2220. The password for the user Bandit27 Git is the same as for the user Bandit27. Okay, so we already have that copied. So we have to clone the repository. I'm pretty sure that it's all you have to do is git clone, and then we have to type that in. I already have the password for Bandit27 copied, so I don't want to copy that. So I'm going to say //bandit27 git at localhost/home bandit27 git repo and the port was 22220. Is that how you do it? I'm not sure. Wait a second. I think the port. No, the port is not supposed to go there. The port's supposed to go here. I think it's colon 2220. I don't know if it's like that, but I hope I got it right. I hope I got it. It says permission denied. Okay, so I think I have to move over into a temp because I'm not allowed to do it here. So let's just the cd into temp, and let's call this directory git1. Then we have to create it. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna make a directory. So I'm gonna say make dir. Okay, now that we made that, let's change back. Let's go to that directory that we made. So temp git1, and then we're gonna type in the command again. So hopefully this works. Yes. We have to type in Bandit's password. We're gonna type it in. Bandit 27's password because it's the same as Bandit. The same as Bandit. Bandit 27-get's password is gonna be the same as Bandit 27, right? So we already pasted it and we got it. We say ls now. We have something. We have a directory called repo. Let's change to repo. Let's ls. It says readme. Let's cat that out. Readme. Or before we do it, let's just figure out what it is. So I'm gonna say, actually no. This. Oh my god, was this big enough for you guys? I don't know. I really hope that was big enough for you guys to see. I'm just gonna zoom in anyway. So anyway, what we did was, let me just go back. What we did was, obviously we connected to a Bandit 27. And then after we did that, it asked us to clone a repository. We couldn't do it in the original Bandit 27 directory. So we made a directory inside of the temp folder. Then we changed into that temp folder. And then we cloned it inside of that repository. No, we cloned this Git repository inside of this directory that we created. And then in order to specify the port that we wanted to use, we specified it after localhost. We localhost colon, then we specified that we wanted the one on port 2220, and then asked for the password, and it already told us the password for Bandit 27-git was the same as Bandit 27. So we just pasted the password, and then we got it. Then we pressed ls, and after we did ls, we found that there was a directory called repo. We changed the directory to repo, and then we said ls, and we found this readme. And now we want to find information about this readme. So we're going to say file readme. Readme. It's ASCII text. We can read that. We'll say readme. Readme. The password for the next level is this. Alright, so this was pretty straightforward. We can copy that. Copy. We're gonna exit. I don't think you have to exit. You can do it from the inside, but I like it. I like doing it from the outside, whatever. For whatever reason. Don't judge me. So Bandit 27, Bandit 28. We paste. Now we're inside Bandit 28, so we're gonna press ls. No, we have to actually figure out what we have to do for Bandit 28 first. And then it says there's a Git repository there. So again, it's the same thing. We have to end the password for Bandit 28-git is the same as Bandit 28. Okay, so let's just do the same thing. We're gonna create a new directory inside of the temp directory. We're gonna call it git2. We're gonna change to that directory, so temp git2. And now we're gonna clone. Let me just rewrite what we did before. We have to do minor changes. Come on, we have to really type all that again. Git clone. Man, this is a headache. So git clone what? SSH colon slash slash SSH colon slash slash what? Bandit 28 git at localhost. Bandit 28 git at localhost on port 2220 slash home. Okay, home Bandit 28 git slash repo. Okay, slash repo. It's a yes. And then the password, we already have it saved. We already have it in the clipboard. We're going to paste that in. And now we have a folder inside of this git2 directory. And it's called repo. Let's change directories into repo. ls. Now there's a readme.md file. Let's just let's see what that is. So readme. readme.md. Okay, it's ASCII text. Let's just read that. So readme.md, and it's saying some notes for level 29 of Bandit is number credentials, username Bandit 29, and xxxxx. That's a password, right? So obviously it's hidden. So one thing you can do here is that you could look at the git logs, and so this is basically going to tell us all the different changes that was done to the repository, based off what I understand. And let's just look at them. So this is basically the initial commit of readme.md. This is add missing data, and this is fix info leak, right? So this is when it was fixed, but this one was, I'm pretty sure, when the password is exposed. At least that's what I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this commit name. I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to say git. And to look at a specific commit, I think I have to say, what was it again? Let me just look at the man page, man git. I can't remember the exact command for git in order to actually look at that. Yeah, I remember what it was. So it was git checkout. So checkout is a command used inside of git to look at a specific commit, right? So I'm going to paste that in here, hit enter, and now we changed it, hopefully. So now let's look at the readme again. So readme, we changed back to an earlier commit, right? So now we're going to say md, and there we go. So we got the password for Bandit 29. Okay, this might be a bit new again, so if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer them. But that's basically one way you can get the password for something like that. So we're gonna exit, and we're gonna connect as Bandit 29. I'm pretty sure are all of them gets, are all the remaining challenges gets. I don't remember. So I'm gonna say enter, and now that we're Bandit 9, Bandit 29, not Bandit 9. We did that ages ago. So no Bandit 29 to Bandit 30. There's a git repository. Okay, so we're gonna redo that again. So we're gonna create another directory. So we're gonna say make directory temp, and the directory was called let's call it git3. Right? It's the third one we're doing. So git3, and then change there. So temp git3, and then we're gonna clone the repository. Did we save it? I don't think you can do it because every time we disconnect, maybe I won't disconnect next time. So clone ssh / bandit 29 at localhost. I'm testing my memory 2220. Now we did that /home / bandit 29 do. Was it like that? Let me just check. No, bandit 29 do. That's what we're gonna do here. So do localhost / home 29 home bandit 29 -git repo. Yes, and from localhost. So what's going on? /home bandit do bandit 29 do. Did I miss something? SSH bandit 29 do localhost. Oh, it's bandit 29 git. Okay, my bad. It was a git there as well. I think it was git as well. Yeah, it's git. I did do by accident. The earlier set UID names got me confused. So I'm gonna say git yes. We're gonna type in bandit's 29 password that we have saved, and we have that. We're gonna press ls. We're gonna change directions to the repo. We're gonna press ls. The readme. So we're gonna say cat readme.md, and it says no password in production. Again, I want to look at the git logs. It says a fixed username, so I don't see anything important here. And now, as you can see, let's just look at the branches for this Git. So there's in Git there's branches. So I'm gonna say Git branch. So right now we're master, but if we look at all of them, you can say -r. So we have multiple branches, right? So right, so we can switch to another one. I think you say Git branch. No, what do you do to switch? I think you say checkout dev. So we're trying to switch, and we're gonna switch to dev. Okay, and then I'm gonna say git log. Okay, so now I switch to a different branch, and author is Morla Porla. Add data needed for development. Add gift to ASCII. Fix username. And I think the problem is that we didn't have a password. So I don't think these are any useful to us right now. Let's just look at the README since we changed the branch. All right, so we already gave us the password. So I think the only thing we needed to do in that challenge was to actually switch the branch. I think that's what they were trying to test. So first we're gonna exit now again, and we're gonna connect to Bandit 30. We're almost there, guys. Then we're gonna paste, and we're logged in as Bandit 30. And let's check in. I think it's another Git. Let me just make sure. So there's a Git repository at SSH, whatever, and then we have to do the same thing. So let's just make a directory again. So I'm going to say make directory temp git4. Change to temp git4 ls. Okay, let's ls-a. Okay, so there's no hidden files. There's no things we're trying to look for. Yeah, because I didn't download it. I'm so stupid. Alright, so git clone. Damn. It's a long day, guys. So I'm going to say git bandit 30 git. So bandit 30 git at localhost. I think I memorized at this point 2220. The command to git clone a repository on port 2220 /home /bandit 30 git repo, right? There we go. So yes, and the password should be the same. Hit enter. ls is a repo. I'm gonna change to that repo. Directory to our repo is ls. We got a readme. We're gonna cat that out. We're gonna say readme. Just an empty file. Mohahaha. We're gonna check if there's hidden files. There's a git directory, so we're gonna change to that .git directory. ls. And there's a config file, so we're gonna say cd config. It's a file, so I'm gonna say fat. I really just said fat. Okay, so cat config. Alright, so I don't think this is very important. Yeah, let's think about this for a minute. Let's just go back. ls again. There's a logs. Let's go into the logs. ls. Refs. ls. Heads and remotes. Okay, so there's a lot of things here. I'm just gonna leave. I don't think it should be like that. It might be. Who knows? Let's look at hidden files here. Just cat head. Head seems very interesting. Okay, so that's not what we're interested in. Alright, so it isn't. I'm kind of confused here. You know, we looked at some of the directories. There's a lot of them. I'm not gonna go through every single one. We can use the find command to try to find stuff, but I'm gonna look for something else. So there's something called a tag in Git. So if you say git tag, it's gonna show you the tags inside of the Git, inside of the repository. So we're gonna say git tag, and there's a secret file. So in order to read a tag, so we have to say git show tag. No, not my bad, not tag. It's typing the name. So git show secret, and there we go. So we got the password for Bandit 31. Copy that. We're gonna exit. Again, guys, this is just basically just trying to get you used to Git. I have to admit, I myself am not too familiar with Git. It's just I don't know. I don't use it like that much. Okay, so now that we're in Bandit 31, we're gonna go to Bandit 31 to Bandit 32, and there's a Git repository. Okay, and then so we're gonna do the same thing again. So let's just do that. So it's good. We're gonna make a directory and we're gonna call it temp. Was it Git 5? I'm gonna change to temp Git 5. Now that we're there, we're gonna git clone SSH Bandit 31 git at localhost on port 2220 home Bandit 31 git repo. Say yes. I'm gonna type in the password. And then we're inside. I'm gonna press ls cd into repo. Ls readme. Let's just cat that. It's probably gonna give us a password, but let's just try it. It says file name is key.txt and content may I come in, and branch is master. Okay, so what branch are we right now? So say git branch. The branch is master. Okay, so what do we have to do here again? We have to. Okay, so it doesn't really tell us anything. May I come in, and it's master. Okay. So what I'm thinking of, okay, so it's telling us something that there's gonna be a file named key.txt, and its content's gonna be may I come in, and a branch is gonna be master. The branch already master. Let's just look at what's in this directory. Let's look at the hidden files, and there's a .git ignore file. Okay, let's look at what's inside of there. First, let's find out what it is. So I'm gonna say file.git ignore. It's probably ASCII, so it is ASCII. So we're gonna say .git ignore. Okay, then it's saying all, that wildcard means all, and then .txt. So all files that have .txt file, we have to ignore them. So since it's telling us, so I'm assuming that it wants us to create a file called key.txt that has may I come in inside of it. Yeah, I actually said that. This time your task is to push a file to the remote repository. Okay, but this is not allow us because this is telling Git to ignore all txt files. So I'm pretty sure you have to remove it somehow. So I'm going to say remove the rm command. Again, if you want to look at the man page, you can look at it. But the rm command basically removes, removes files. So I'm going to say remove .git ignore. Now they removed it. Let's try to create the file. So I'm going to say vim key.txt. Okay. And it has to have may I come in ? Question mark. I think it's like that. Colon. Okay. So ls. Okay, now we have that file. Can we add it? So we can say git add key.txt. Okay. Then can we say git push? Yes. Let's just type in the password. So we're trying to push this file to the repository. Now it says everything is up to date. Now I'm going to say ls. Maybe it changed now. Readme. No. So what's the problem here? All right. So after doing some research, I'm pretty. It's based off what I've seen. It's asking, in order to actually get it to push, we actually have to push a message. So in order to do that, I'm going to say git commit -m, and then we're going to type in the message. So we're going to say message, right? Okay. And I think now it should work. I'm not sure. Let's just say what was the command? It was git push, right? So git push. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with git. And there we go. So it said, "Well done. Here is the password for next level," and it's here. So we got the password. That should be the password for Bandit 32. Gonna copy that. And so basically, all we did was we took a file and we pushed it on the repository, and we had to remove that other file called .git remove and .git ignore. That was basically preventing us from adding that txt file. So we can exit, and we can try to connect to Bandit 32. They're gonna paste, and yeah. So wait a second. So we are. This is a strange. What? Okay, so we got a weird shell. We got a weird shell here. So let's just try ID. Okay, so we have an SH shell. So last time, you know how we had all the other levels being bash, and then there was one level that had the show text shell that we had to go use the more command to get inside of the text editor and then break out by typing commands and stuff like that. So we had to change the shell. Right now we're inside of the SH shell. Okay, so we're inside of the SH shell, and yeah, so I'm going to see what kind of commands you can type here. Before we do that, let's just switch over. So now that we're in Bandit 32 to 33, and let's just check. I think that was, is that the last level? I don't know if you check the last level. Yeah, it was the last level. Yeah, so this doesn't, there's no level 34. So once we've done this level, we're going to complete the Bandit war game. So it says, after all this good stuff, it's time for another escape. Good luck. Okay, so we have to escape this shell. We have to escape the shell. So what if I do bin bash? Okay, so it makes everything capital. So I'm pretty sure in order to actually get inside of the normal SH shell, the one that just SH without it making everything capital, we have to do something like $0. I'm not sure. Let's just check. Enter. Yeah. So now we're inside of the SH shell, right? We're inside of the SH shell. Because before everything was being capitalized, if you notice, right? So welcome to the uppercase shell. So in order to actually get into a normal a born shell, that's what the sh is. In order to get into the normal born shell, we had to do the $0 symbol. So this basically allows us to escape this uppercase shell, right? So now that we've escaped this uppercase shell, we still don't have a bash shell, right? We still have like ls. We can run commands like id. We can run like normal commands, but we don't have a shell. So in order to create a shell, there's a Python script that you can type in. It's a one-line Python script, which again, this depends on whether this machine. Yeah, this machine already has Python, right? So it told us when we connected. It said what did it say? It said, yeah, see, Python 2 and Python 3 are installed. So we can actually do that. So I'm going to say Python -c, and this is a Python script again. It's a very common Python script that allows you to get a shell, right? Again, this is assuming that it has it, and since we have Python installed on the server, we can actually use it. So we can say import pty.spawn. It's using the pty library. Bin bash close. Oh, it's saying permission denied, so it doesn't allow us to run Python. That's strange. Let's do Python 3. Does that work? Python 3 -c import pty.spawn bin bash and close. Oh, there we go. So we got it. So yeah, it didn't have Python. It had Python 3, right? So now that we have Bandit 33, we can get the password for Bandit. We're logged in as Bandit 33 now. We can get the password for Bandit 33 because we know that all the passwords of the Bandit levels are inside of this directory. And we're looking for the Bandit 33 password. And there we go. So now that we have Bandit 33's password, congratulations. We don't need to copy this, but I'll just copy it anyway because a victory, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, so we're done with the Bandit war game. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you greatly increased your Linux based skills. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. We're done, and there's no levels left. We went from level 0 all the way down to level 33, and hopefully next time we can do other war games and other challenge related videos. And if you want more of these type of videos, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.